Good evening. Welcome to the Orta Know Better podcast. This is episode, I think it's 18 of series 2. I am Mad Adam. I'm joined tonight by Casco Carl, joined by Smarty, and I'm joined by Gilly. Good evening, lads. How are we?
Hello.
Good, thanks.
Not bad.
Yeah, sorry about the delay to our avid listeners and viewers. I was just been a bit of a dickhead, really, and couldn't get my headphones working. But without further ado, we've got a lot to cover tonight on our festive special before the Christmas break kicks in. So, Gilly, hit music for me, mate, if you don't mind. Thank you very much. Thank you. So we are almost at Christmas. How are we all feeling? We all good? We've had a bit of a rough December so far, football terms, but we all keeping positive.
And COVID terms, me and you have been fucked.
Honestly, it's not been great, has it? It's not been a good one. It's what it is, and it's the modern world, the great reset as we're heading towards, apparently. So there we are. So let's crack on. I know Cal and I had a very in-depth, as we always do, in-depth and tactically astute Baradi and Coke the other day. If you missed that, then you missed a treat. But I'll come to you, Smarts and Gill. What Liverpool? I'm sorry, we're going backwards in time here. I can't remember. Who did we play? Arsenal.
Arsenal?
It's been a long week, boys. It's thrown me off.
He's had an absolute fucking nightmare. He doesn't even know his own name. He struggled with that.
I'm just surprised that he skipped over the predictions because he's absolutely nailed it this week, hasn't he? I think from what I remember. Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, 100%. Fair enough. My bad. 100%. Sorry.
So, Smart, let's come to you first, mate. Arsenal. Thoughts?
Lol. I don't really have a right lot to say. It was just a fucking shambles on it. I mean, it is looking pretty bleak at the minute, boys, isn't it? But that said, I still remain quietly confident. You know, and I've been getting some absolute right shit at work and stuff like that, as you probably all are, and all that sort of stuff. Leeds are going down, enjoy the championship next year and stuff like that. And even when you've seen your own team getting absolutely paggered and their keepers are trying to have banter with South Stand and, you know, pretending to get hit by coins and all that sort of stuff, I just think we're going to be all right, you know. And I still think we're going to be all right. You know, we've played some really, really good teams and some really, you know, informed teams as well. And we're fielding teams of kids and fringe players and maybe one or two starters. It is looking pretty bleak that the results haven't been kind to us, but I'm still quietly confident. You know, Arsenal, what can you say? They're either brilliant or they're shite, aren't they? There doesn't seem to be any sort of like medium with Arsenal. They're a good team. They've got some good players. They're all arseholes. I can't stand them. I can't stand the fans. I hate fucking Londoners. Well, anyone south of Sheffield, really. In fact, you can throw Sheffield in mix as well. Fuck them as well. But yeah, it was a bit of a poor do. I got very angry and just went out and got pissed on Saturday. Thought, fuck it.
It is. From
really.
the group chat, there's a few people out on the piss on Saturday from what the group chats were saying on Sunday. So there we go. But I think we all deserved it. Gilly, what did you think, mate? Obviously, you were laid up, weren't you? You weren't very well, so you didn't get to go. So
didn't get to drown my sorrows. didn't get any of that. I think for me, the frustration is playing against sides that play players as bad as Xhaka and not being in a position to take advantage of it. It's embarrassing that a player as bad as Martinelli can put two past us. The two players that I've mentioned there is shit. And if we've got a fully fit side, I don't think either of them get in it. And, you know, it's really frustrating that we always end up in a position where we can't take advantage of the fact that the playing in midfielder is bad as Xhaka. Because it tends to be that way. Anytime we hit a game against Arsenal, we're low on confident hand players at any given point. So there's a frustration there for me. But on the positive, I knew that coming into this run of 4 games, not only were we unlikely to get anything, even if we had a fully fit squad, it would have been difficult to get anything out of these 4 games. But we were absolutely 100% guaranteed at least one person doing the 1-chip challenge. So I need to come to Adam and Carl and define who it is, because I thought if it was 4 points or less, it was Adam, but Adam believes that was opposite, and it's Carl and Jay that's going to be doing the 1-chip challenge. So we can go back and we can listen, but guys, thrash it out between yourselves. Who's doing it?
Just go back and listen, so we will, and see we'll see who's doing it. I can't remember fucking carrying on like that at all. Like what? Like so no saying that worth the start to be putting a bet on where you see 2 of them fucking things, let alone that.
So
I don't know. I'll have to go back and watch it.
Listen, as we know from the Everton thing, when I was honest enough to give the points back last season,
when you were caught, you mean, and then you tried getting it doing again this week. I'll go 1-0, but then in the group chat, I'm going 2-0.
I'm a pillar of honesty, Gilly. I won't have anything else said against me. It's slander. What I said was, we will not get anywhere near 4 points. We won't get any points. I said we'll get fuck all from those games. I said if we get 4 points, it'll be a miracle. And Jay and Carl said we would get above 4 points, and I said we are not getting 4 points. We are getting nothing. Is what I said.
So Jay and Carl always a 1-chip challenge. That's what you said.
100%. And then I was that confident. I said if I am proved wrong and we get more than 4 points, and as a good person, I will include Villa. So if we get 4 points from Liverpool and Villa, I said I will do 2 of the fucking crisps. That's how confident.
So what you're saying actually is it's not been decided yet. Then we're still waiting on. Because there's a potential that we get 6 points there.
If that happens, I will not happily do it, but I will do it.
I think you're remembering that a bit wrong. I think what you said was if we get 5 points or more from these 4 games, I'll do 2 1-chip challenges. And I think that was from the 4 games, 3 of which we've had already. So it's not possible to get 4 points. So I think it's been decided. So if it was you that said 4 or more, then Carl and Jay owes us a 1-chip challenge.
100%.
Excellent.
To watch that back.
But I mentioned, just going back to the game for a second. I mentioned Xhaka. And now, not only is he shit, but he's also dirty. Should have been red carded. Absolutely, 100% should have been red carded. Didn't even get a booking. Although I believe he was booked later in the game, which should have at least been his second yellow, but it should have already walked. And then Joffrey's booked for a lesser challenge instantly afterwards. You had a decision given to us on the edge of their box, and then they were allowed to play on. And I know that there's a lot being made of the refereeing performances across quite a few games now. Absolutely not having any of the fact that Liverpool are now complaining about referees because they've had such a massive rub of the green for such a long time. They can all get in fucking big. But yeah, it has been appalling, really, really bad. And what we've done is we've taken shit referees and doubled them up. So we've now got 2 loads of shit because it's a shit referee running VAR and a shit referee running the game. So we've just doubled the amount of shit that's in charge of the game rather than fixing anything. So ultimately, the entire thing was frustrating. We were shit without a side to put out, in effect. The ref was shit. Arsenal aren't all that. They're really not. And we got pumped 4-1. So do you know what? You can all get fucking bin and let's move on. In fact, just really quickly, we just need to cover predictions, don't we?
Orta no better predictions.
So, we did have one person that was absolutely spot on and got himself 5 points. Anybody guess who that was?
Fuck that wanker.
Rex.
It was Rex. So we had 3 people pick up points. Stats went 2-1 Arsenal. Adam went 1-0 and 2-0 Arsenal because he likes hedging his bets and cheating. And Jason went 4-1 Arsenal. So a total of 7 points given out gives us Jay on 5 points, Smarty on 6 points. Render, Becky, Si Johnson, and Carl all on 8 points. The fans on 11. Myself and Luke on 13. Jason up on 14 now in 4th place. Bren on 15. Stats on 19, and Adam on 20.
See that fucker? Well, I'm like minuses, wasn't he? He was right at the bottom of the league last year because we were, we're going to get dipped, this, something like that. And because we're actually doing shit, and he's still such a negative bastard.
Yeah.
You know,
that's exactly what it is.
And the most positive people are down at the frigging bottom. It's bollocks.
Well, there you go, mate. You get your trot off.
That's exactly what it is.
I start being a fucking miserable bastard.
It helps. It helps.
But that's Arsenal, and that's predictions. And back to you, Adam.
Well, there we are. So, yeah, can we just revel in the fact that I'm top for once?
Let's move on.
As you said, I was shit last season. Well, there you go. Right. So.
I'm not giving a prediction again after that fucking wayward shit she got out of me last weekend. I'm not doing it again.
It don't matter. I said we were going to win as well, but what the fuck do I know? Clearly, fuck all. I'm second off bottom.
No, not doing it again.
There you go.
Sorry, go on. Carry on.
No, please. So, one, you were right. I was thinking about this earlier, right? I want your opinion on it, lads, because you said it there. With VAR, you've got 2 massive pieces of shit now involved. You've got a shit referee and you've got a shit head within the VAR room. So, who would be the 2 worst people to run Leeds United? If we could go back in, anybody who's run Leeds United in our past, who do you think would be the 2 worst? I came up with Bates and Chelina, which I think were the obvious 2. But if you could have any 2, like, who do you think would be the worst people ever to be involved in Leeds United?
To run the club?
Just to run the club. Just all right, kids would be fucked, wouldn't they?
I don't know.
No pre-season tours to Portugal. No, just it could be anything. They could be in the board. It could be in the dressing room. Like, who do you think? Like, the 2 worst.
So I don't think Chelino's in the mix there.
You know,
I really don't. No, on the basis that it was fucking entertaining.
Chelino's one of the best owners we've had.
Yeah,
it was fucking entertaining. No, for me, the 2 worst people are Bates and Ridsdale.
Absolutely. Yeah. You could probably throw in GFH as a front runner.
Yeah.
He's the guy who's dropping the egg in the egg and spoon race, but still managing to fucking get going. He's gone too far.
No, for me, I mean, Ridsdale's got to be in the mix there because he was the one that caused it all.
Yeah. Well, we can always blame Charlton. You know,
and Cardiff.
Yeah.
I don't know, mate. For me, it's got to be Bates. Because at least Ridsdale, for all his faults and stuff like that, wanted success and rightly or wrongly, he was chasing the dream and he tried to get his, to the dizzy heights, the Champions League and all that sort. Failed, fucked us, and that was it. Bates was just a cunt. Pure and fucking simple.
Oh, Smite.
Oh, sorry.
Yes. To be fair, it just shows that the passion is there and the hate is strong.
I agree with you in as much as Bates hated the club. He hated the club. He still held it against us about the scoreboard at Chelsea. He hated the club. Didn't want success. He wanted to bleed the club dry and leave it a mess, and that's what he did.
But he said that, didn't he?
But even at that point, even going out of his way to be a bad owner, didn't leave it in as much as a mess as Ridsdale caused, trying to do good. So, for different reasons, but for me, I think it's really difficult to get a piece of paper between them, and I don't think anyone else comes close to the pair.
No.
Yeah, you're probably right. So maybe I was a bit harsh on Chelina.
Very odd question. I like it.
I didn't want to expect it.
Negative vibes we're getting from Adam today.
Well,
he's going to be in Cap go up in a minute.
He's stuck in isolation. I've had lots to think about. So there you are. So go on. So we obviously every week we do our poll. I've seen it this week. There was a good one. Who's in the poll? Is that you, Smarts, this week? Is that your thing?
Hold on, Adam.
Every week, unless a holiday.
Twitter poll results.
It says it's me who does it. It's me who does it every week unless Jay fucks it right up.
There you go. Been away from
that.
Go on.
I'm just trying to find it. You got me a bit off guard there, Adam, I'll be honest.
Professional, mate. It's always professional.
Each week we ask the listeners to choose the main subject for the pod via the poll on our Twitter account. This week, the options are: does this season's survival depend on strengthening in January? Does the lack of and injuries to first team players have a negative effect on the younger players? And is this Bielsa's last season? Fairly tight. Strength in numbers was the winner with 49%. Think of the children in 17% in third place, and Bielsa's last season in third place. So we did cover this a little bit last week, probably quite a lot last week, with regards to transfers and who would, ideally who would like to bring in and strengthen the squad and all that sort of stuff in the transfer window. But that doesn't necessarily have to mean who we're bringing in. It's more to do with the rest of the season, and does it sort of wholly depend on January, or is there other things affecting us maintaining our status as a Premier League club? Are you following me? Are you with me, lads? Gilly looks lost.
I'm with you.
So, apart from transfers and all that sort of stuff, how can we improve, or how can we better our chances to stay in the Premier League this year? Carl?
Rob Price needs to get all the injured players back playing. I think that might help.
Well, yeah, but
in a short answer, but I don't know. I think the idea is still there with Bielsa to play the way he wants to play. I just think the resources he has at the moment are limited, and he's still trying to play that way. And maybe at the moment we should kind of be a bit more standoffish and not be as brazen when we're trying to go forward. If we've got a few kids on the pitch, pick your opportunities and use them wisely till you get players back in certain positions to strengthen it. And I think for the first time in, I don't know, nearly 2 decades, we've got wingers galore and centre backs galore, and and it just seems to be right down the middle of the pitch where we're really suffering. Centre backs are dropping like flies there for a while. Cox back, but we've got Ayling in there, and then you've got Calvin out, and we're getting Forshaw back, but then Click's out of form, and Dallas is either playing left back or he's playing on in the 10-8. And you're like, and then you've got Jaffe up front, and then you've got Robertson behind him, and you've got no Rodrigo and Bamford, and you're just like, the common thing with it is you always go, the spine of the team is the most important part of the team, and it literally is the most important part of our team. We just don't have it. So maybe just play a bit more cautious in games where we feel we could get absolutely annihilated on the break. Play a bit more cautious against teams that are going to dominate midfield, just until we get players back. And I think that can help a lot. Not necessarily signing anyone in January, but just being not cautious, but just,
do the basics right, sort of thing. I mean, it's
we're trying to do what our basics are right, but we're just
yeah. But what you're saying is that kind of to solve 2 positional issues, you're sacrificing 3 positions maybe to cover 2. You might be dragging Dallas from midfield or from right back to left back in the show, rather than just playing a left back as a left back and leaving Dallas over on right back. Or what? I know what you're saying. So you're saying that, obviously to be more cautious against the better teams and all that sort of stuff. Game management, which has been bandied about a fair bit on it, really, since we've started having a bit of a dip in form.
But I don't want us to just neglect the way we play either, but
no.
It like you said, game management, it's about picking and choosing where you decide to break. But I don't think the players that come in have been in the first team set up long enough to be able to kind of use that game management as well. And if I think myself and Adam mentioned it there on B and C, it was maybe the main players are maybe if they're out of form a little bit, then that's having a knock-on effect on the younger players, and that's when the game management goes out the window if the senior players maybe don't, play as well as they're expected to on a normal game. But,
Yeah, fair play, mate. Adam, same question, mate. If apart from transfers or whatever, what would you do to try and improve us as a team or improve performances or anything? I mean, shoot from the hip.
Mine's a controversial one. I'd be pushing for a.
Don't say Santriore.
Not that bad. It's not that bad yet. I would be pushing, just like every other manager. I'd be pushing for a break in football because we, as a team, we look punch drunk. We look like we're on the ropes every game, and I think we could do with a little break to be it 2-3 weeks with no games, where we can get some important players back with no pressure. So I know that's controversial because we're all going to miss football, and I know how important it is to everybody, but that's what I think we should be pushing for because we're absolutely decimated at the moment. Players are out of form, and I think the pressure's really starting to. We're seeing the senior players don't seem to be dealing with the pressure of full crowds. And I know the fans have been amazing as we always are, but I think just take them out of the fucking. Take them out of the limelight. Take them out of the. It's a shit show. It's a storm at the moment. So I think just having a break from football and taking them out of it, and saying right, let's regroup. Let's go back to basics of what we did last season, and start getting that belief back in them. Because confidence for every single senior player in that squad at the moment is on its ass. You can see it. You can see
what you're saying is that winter break that we all argued against is exactly what we need.
At this point, yeah. But it's going against us, and it's
we only agree with it if it benefits us.
yeah, but we can have it next season, aren't we? Because of the fucking World Cup.
No, that's what I'm on about. Yeah, the winter break that we're involved in the World Cup.
Yeah, exactly. So
what we're saying is, if you were given the option to, if it were down to you, specifically, what would you do if we were to have a winter break? How would you get the morale back? I mean, obviously, apart from the injuries, what would you do with this squad? You're at Thorpe Arch. Right, Adam, you're in charge of the fucking lads. You've got to get the morale, but you've got to get this team, with a winning mentality again. What are you going to do? Don't say take them paintballing or something like that.
Put me in the river.
Get a bit of some bloody spots in the river.
No, I don't know. I honestly, I think they should all just take time. Well, yeah, but I think they should just fucking run a bit harder. Come on, Robert.
Kick the ball harder. Kick it harder into the goal.
Kick it in that goal thing. No, I think they should. I think they should take us. They should all just have a few weeks just to actually let it sink in of what they've achieved as footballers. I don't think a lot of them are probably going to have had time to process the fact that they've gone from playing well in the Championship, no fans, smashing the shit out of the Championship towards the end, smashing it in the Premier League last season with no fans, no appreciation. And I think now this is where we start to see the sporting mentality. And I think the pressure, and I've said this all along, the pressure of having massive full stadiums when the shit's hitting the fan and you're at the bottom of the league. I don't know if some of them are mentally strong enough or they've been in these positions before. So I'd just fucking put them all together, make them watch our Championship winning season and be like, this is what you're capable of. This is football. This is the philosophy. This is our plan A. It works. It works at that level. It worked at the level without the fans and in the Premier League.
I see what you're saying. Just get back to it. It's not like they're playing in a negative atmosphere. It's not like they're having, previous seasons where the players have actually been berated and fucking verbally assaulted on the pitch. People literally staying behind to give them some fucking right shit as they're walking off the pitch. I can't believe how kind, how nice, how welcoming, and how supportive the actual fan base has been within the stadium. To be honest, it's amazing, and I'm glad because I wouldn't want anyone. You might get an odd groan or whatever if something goes wrong or if there's a misplaced pass or whatever. But the general attitude, I think, the general atmosphere at Elland Road has been great, and it's been fantastic, and they've had loads of support. So if it were to turn, fuck knows how what they'll be like. Dare I say, after Christmas or whatever, when patience is worn a little bit thin, and we don't seem to be getting the light in the tunnel sort of thing. Yeah. Who knows?
That's what I think.
So when we're saying about being a bit more cautious, so when you've got Ayling, Dallas, Koch giving the ball away in our half and inviting pressure on us, and we can't keep hold of the ball, how do you translate the position that we're in to being one where we're in a position to be more cautious? Because surely being more cautious is having the ball in our half a bit more.
Yeah,
what does that look like?
Well, being more cautious doesn't necessarily mean that you have to keep the ball in your own half all the time. Being cautious, in my opinion, being cautious is if you have it on the wing, not just looking for that 30 or 40 yard pass that we normally look for when we don't have the adequate players within the midfield to cope with that kind of ball and then switch and play so quickly. Players that are out of form aren't going to, like, if Rafinha play, like we've seen Rafinha play a few of them balls, he's tried switching it a few times. A few of them haven't come off because the personnel isn't there to read the game, to be able to move across the pitch in a manner that we're so used to. And that's dictated a lot by the way Phillips plays at the back as well. Our play is dictated by him in the sense that he gets the ball, we know he's going one way or he's going the other, and we have the players to do that. But when we don't have him there, we miss that cohesion in from his position on the pitch to where we need the ball to be. And I think being a bit more cautious is keeping the ball. When you were saying there, Dallas,
but that's what we can't do. We're not keeping the ball at all.
Those passes that they're giving away, they're so a lot of them being maybe long passes or passes where you can see it yourself.
That's the reason that I'm asking the question. Is I don't think it is. If you look at there were a couple of times with Dallas and a couple of times with Ayling, and one really obvious one we caught in our half, playing a simple ball and not being able to get that simple ball right. And that is a sign of poor confidence. These players are fully capable of passing the ball. We've seen it, and we've seen enough of it to know that that's the case. It's the simple balls they're not getting right more often than not. It's not the Hollywood balls, where actually if you get a Hollywood ball wrong, 9 times out of 10, yeah, all right, they've got the ball and they might not have it under pressure, but they've got it at the back. Whereas when we're getting the simple balls wrong, it's in our half.
Yeah.
So it's almost how do you get them the confidence to know that they can play that simple ball when you know that they're low on confidence, and actually keeping the ball means that we're going to be playing more with those simple balls that then there's an opportunity to get it wrong again, and then the confidence is even worse.
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, I think the ball retention is one of the main problems that we've got at the moment. And if you look at Forshaw, he's fantastic at it, but he seems to be the only one that's constantly asking for the ball, and that's not something that we're used to seeing as a fan base. Is our team not all desperate for the ball, and that is indicative of low confidence. I think you're right in that. But for me, I think what they need to do is, as Adam was saying, is reflect on what they've achieved as a unit, and try to focus on that rather than, oh God, we've got Liverpool next, and we've already been paggered by City, and Chelsea didn't deserve the 3 points, I don't think. But but then Arsenal are shit and they beat us 4-1. It's like we're in a tough patch. We knew that this was a tough patch of fixtures. We saw that coming. I reflected right at the start of it when you were going before you did your one chip challenge big talk, and that was around. There's this thing that we all had in the back of our minds of, oh, it's a really difficult month, is December, exactly as April had been, and we came out of April with loads of points and loads of goals, and it was like, wow, we beat City with 10 men. So yeah, we know it's really difficult, but in the backs of our mind, we still expect something. Now, that's completely unrealistic when you reflect on the players that we've got out. Completely unrealistic. But we are an unrealistic fan base.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I think for me, if we come back to the point at hand, I think there are elements where, I mean, I, as far as I'm aware, we've been told that the Boxing Day fixtures and so on will be going ahead. Now you look at the games that were called off, and I've got it in front of me: Scum, Brighton, Villa, Burnley, Southampton, Brentford, Watford, Palace, West Ham, Norwich, all postponed, and ours went ahead. Ours was the one that was earmarked for TV. So a cynic might be the only person that would point that out, but equally, ours went ahead. We had more players unavailable than any of those sides. Ban on.
Yeah. Put together.
Yeah, so we're in a position where we know that things are difficult at the moment. There's rumours that Stroik and Bamford may be available for the Liverpool game, but these are rumours at the moment. We don't know who we're going to get back, but you can't get away from the fact that regardless of what we do, we're in a position where we don't have the personnel, regardless of whether they're on the treatment table or people reflect on the fact that the squad's not big enough. And I'm sick and tired of saying you have to take the rough with the smooth with Bielsa. He likes a thin squad, but he got us here. Yeah, you can't then say, well, no, we should force Bielsa to have a squad twice the size he likes, because it's just not how he operates.
But would you though? But I mean, if you had the option, sorry to just digress slightly.
Right.
If you were Orta or if you were Kinney or whoever, would you say, right, you want 4 players, but I'm going to get you 8?
I think if you try and force that situation, you are in a position where you're moving away from the agreed path, and there's a potential then that actually Bielsa goes, do you know what? That's not how I work. I'm gone.
But they did get Llorente.
Like I said, rough with the smooth.
They were after, obviously they wanted to replace Ben White, and they got Robin Koch, and then they got Llorente in as well. They were in the market for 2 CBs, but they got 2 CBs, and we needed more fucking CBs because
yeah, no, you're right. And we'd gone in for Rafinha and we're told he wasn't available, so we signed Rodrigo, and then we went and got Rafinha when he became available really late in the window.
Absolutely.
But that for me is they've identified some players, and some of them weren't available. So they moved on. They brought others in, and then those players became available. Not Ben White, but Rafinha did, and therefore they brought in players that they had agreed upon. I think that if you went to Bielsa and said, "We know that you want 2 or 3, we're signing 10," that's a different scenario.
Yeah, that's different. Say if you wanted 2 and you got a stiff 4. I mean, you want 4, you got 8. That might have been a bit of an exaggeration, but if you obviously to double the amount, say you wanted 2, say you wanted a number 10. Number 8, number 10, and maybe another centre back, maybe another striker. Would you look to bolster another centre back? Cooper might be going out this year. Get him another 2 players. Do you think that would be a positive move, or do you think that would piss him off so much he just said, "You know what, lads, I'm off"?
No, I don't think that would. I don't think that would. I think it would. It would hinge upon him having the involvement in who he's brought in. The personnel, the human, as well as the footballer. Because we know that that's so much more important to him as well. So I think if you're bringing in his targets, you're bringing in his targets. He
will do, because he's obviously got a hand in who's been scouted and stuff. He works alongside Victor with that, doesn't he? So our patron saint, this guy, this guy right here.
Nice.
I think personally, and I know it was one of the potential poor outcomes. I do think this will be Bielsa's last season. I will be unbelievably surprised if he's here next season. And I said this months ago.
Would you keep him on for another season? Would you want to see him go, or would you prefer him to stay and finish, and potentially get us up that table?
But what is it?
I'm throwing you a curveball.
Careful.
Would you stick, or would you get someone else?
Come on, shit take, Adam. Let's hear. Bielsa or not Bielsa?
I've absolutely set him up to fall here, haven't I? And apologise in advance. Because whatever you say, it's probably going to be controversial.
You don't mean that.
Nah, I don't mean it. I can't wait to rip him. I can't wait for him to win shit take it year again.
I didn't win it. You won it, didn't you? I didn't even win it.
Yeah, you won it final. Both you were
Bren. Not shit take.
It was you versus you. Fucking final, you cabbage. Anyway.
Fucking went. I had 3. No, I weren't. I didn't win.
Bielsa. Stick or twist, Adam. Stick or twist.
This is the easiest question you've ever been asked.
If
our friend the Bremner's ghost is here, look.
If
Helter for life.
if he isn't, I think football evolves season. I'm taking this seriously now. Football evolves season to season. I think Bielsa, as wonderful as he is, and as well as he's done, without major overhaul of the squad, he's too loyal to shit performing players. So I don't think I keep him from the fact.
Can you just fucking get on with it?
Guys, backtracked on it.
I don't know.
He just fucking moonwalked better than fucking Michael Jackson, man.
If he's going to replace some of the championship winning team with actual quality, then keep him. If he's going to persist in playing Ayling at centre back and not replacing championship level players, then we're going to be in this position. I can't see. I think he's made the most beautiful music out of a championship squad, but the instruments are now a bit worn and they're a bit shit, and we're always going to.
So let me just ask you.
Yeah.
So we're touching on Ayling at centre back.
Mm-hmm.
Who else would you have played? He didn't have Llorente, he didn't have Cooper, he didn't have Struijk, he didn't even have Cresswell. So this weekend, who do you play at centre back?
No, and that's the again, but that's a one-off in it. But it's not the first time he's played
all season.
You know,
first time.
So yeah, I mean, yes, he has played Ayling at centre back before, but we know that his preference is to play him at right back because he plays him at right back when everybody's fit. So, but yeah. He also does look for adaptable players. Now, Ayling's, I would do him a note because we didn't have anybody else to play there. So Ayling did play there. And you lose the benefit of having Ayling in your team when you don't play him at right back because he's so dynamite and so progressive when he does play there. I think it's unfair to have a go at him, though, on the basis of playing Ayling at centre back when we literally did not have anybody else. What he prefers to do is drop Calvin in. He wasn't there. He didn't have the 7 options he'd rather have rather than Ayling in middle.
Completely agree with you. But my point that I'm trying to make, and probably not making it very well, as I never do, is we have to look at the squad that got us up, and we need to replace them man for man. And that's how you develop. And that's how you avoid major shit show injury problems that we've had, because we've gone, Ayling can play this position, Dallas can play fucking everywhere. Click, I will keep him because he can, he can come in and he'll cover this. We need to be Ayling, Dallas, to a certain degree, Cooper. They need to be our bench players. They need to be the ones that come in if we have injury crisis. We don't be going, right, who've we got scrabbling around in lost property in under 23s to fucking fit out a team. We need to be replacing them. And if Bielsa's not going to do that, and he's going to persist in being loyal, they are all in Leeds folklore, and I've said this from the minute we got promoted, they're all amazing, but we have to be realistic. And if he's going to persist with this squad, it doesn't matter how fucking wonderful a manager he is, they're at their peak. They've hit their peak, and now they're on the decline, and that's why we're fucked. Simple as that.
But I kind of... Oh, sorry, go on.
Sorry, did we hit the peak last season, or have we hit the peak this season?
The peak was last season. There's no pressure on them. They could just go out and enjoy football with no fans. Simple as that.
But I said, how are we adding more pressure when all we're doing is supporting them and there's not like a hostile environment for them?
Right. If you
how would it change that much? Surely it'd give you more adrenaline and more, a bigger push to do better than have a negative effect.
A prime example: us four doing this in front of each other now on camera. Piece of piss. Could we do this in front of fucking 500 people, like sat in front of us? We'd all be shitting our pants. Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you'd be nervous.
You'd be nervous.
But if yourself,
question everything.
I'd be nervous, right?
Obviously you do it.
But if you made a shit take and you got booed and fucking had shit thrown at you, and I had a really good take and I got a rapturous fucking applause, I'd be like, fucking nice one, you know what I mean? I could do this more. So,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
But when you
but I just want to challenge one thing that you're saying there, and the loyalty aspect. We know that he's loyal to his players, but at the same time, you look at the squad that we got at the championship with, and Bamford is more than good enough, and he's not beyond his peak yet. We brought Rodrigo, so if you look at the team that is the first team that would play, Meslier got us up. Cooper would play. We've got a new left back since we got promoted. The right back would play. Llorente since we got promoted. So half of the back four is new since promotion. You've got Rafinha and you've got Dan James would be his preference, I believe, on the wings.
Yeah.
You've got Rodrigo in the centre that we signed since we got promoted. So when you're saying our promoted squad should be the ones that come in and fill in, well, that's because they are. But the ones that we've bought have been unavailable recently. So I think it's that we are replacing that squad takes time. You can't do that overnight. And had we tried to do that overnight, we'd have done a Villa. Villa deserved to get relegated, having spent a shitload of money. And Pontus has just scored an own goal. Fuck him. So yeah, I'm being a little bit unfair with you because I sort of agree with you in as much as there's a lot of work to do with the squad still, but I don't think the Shy are doing it, and I think they have been doing it. It's just about keeping those players available, and we are still a thin squad. I still think that. I said all along that I think Alioski had a lot to offer the squad, and we really should have pushed the boat out to keep him. I think he would have added a lot at this point in time. It was always available, and regardless of whether you think he's going to take us to the next level or not, which, being honest, he probably wasn't going to do. He was an important figure in the squad, and we lost him, we lost Berry, we lost Pablo. That's seniority as well. Players that have been around for quite some time that know what it is to play under adversity, and that's important as well. And that positive mindset that we're talking about. When you've got somebody like Dallas, somebody like Ayling that's struggling, they need to be able to look at their other experienced colleagues and know they can rely on them, and that's what gets them through.
At what point do you think we need to get rid of these fucking players, because they have to move on at some point? We have to change. We have to get better. We have to bring in players that are better than the current players.
But that's my point. We are doing that.
We are doing that. But what I'm saying is, do you drag them along with you? You obviously you're increasing your squad size by bringing these characters, with you. I mean, that's clearly not going to be a good thing, surely.
Well, I thought that there was still. I'd bring Berra back now and have him till end of season.
Yeah, absolutely. Hindsight's a fucking great thing, isn't it? It's I think. You are go on, mate.
Sorry, no, I was going to say this is my point, and I'm not saying that I want Bielsa to leave at the end of the season. But what I am saying is, if we're going to have a lean squad like we are, we're seeing the detriment to how having a lean how it can just fuck you. Having key injuries in key areas, you're knackered. I don't know if it's going to be like this, and we're in the same position next season. We bring in 4 players, like you said, Smarts, bringing 4 players to replace Dallas, Ayling, Cooper, and they take a year to get fit, like Llorente, everybody else that we brought in.
You leave Stewart alone. He's a fucking right player, Stewart Dallas.
I mean, Carl called it last season, and we all laughed at him. He said they were over the hill.
Oh, don't start speaking about that. We're all being a coffin next week. Anyway, we're digressing. That has actually gone arms and legs as the poll. But thank you for that, lads. That was very interesting.
There you go. So basically,
back over to you, Adam.
Yeah. So you throw me under the bus on that one. So appreciate it. Thank you for the comments on there. I never saw Ayling play for Aston Villa, but there we go. But you keep playing Football Manager, mate. Maybe one day you'll learn. So Liverpool Boxing Day, are we hoping for a miracle, a Christmas miracle, or are we going to get an absolute baggering? What we
I think you've got more chance of growing a full head of hair than we have at beating Liverpool away at Anfield.
This is why I can't eat them crisps.
And there wraps up the fucking Liverpool talk, huh?
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Go on.
So,
Go on, Gil. I don't know. You go. I know you.
I think we're in a position where if you rip the arse out of their side the way that the arse out of ours has been ripped, then they're going to struggle. But they haven't. They've lost Robertson to an absolutely 100% stonewall red card. That was a red card. I'm sorry. Yeah, all right. Kane massively got away with one, but that doesn't mean that the Robertson one wasn't one. They've lost him. I think Virgil's still out. So we're in a position where if we had a strike force, we'd be able to take advantage of that. We don't. So right. It absolutely depends on who we can get on the pitch, and I don't think we've got enough players coming back to make enough of a difference to us, especially if we get one goal and then they injure themselves. One
point though.
I don't think that there's a way that we'll be able to make enough of a difference to the side that's available to us that'll make an impact on that game. And do you know what? Your Cities, your Liverpools, your Chelseas, the amount of money they've been able to invest into their squad compared to the amount of money available to us, those aren't our games. We do need to be looking to beat Villa. We need to be looking to beat Everton. But then you're shy like Brentford. That's where we've slipped up. Those are the games that we should be dominating. We did dominate, but we should be taking the points. And yeah, all right. It was awful watching the City game. I mean, it wasn't an enjoyable watching the Chelsea game, but we deserve something out of it. Yeah. But we like to be unrealistic as a fan base. But when you reflect on the games where you get beaten by a side that's able to put $1 billion instead of 100 million into their squad, or 100 million into one player, when that's what we've got to invest in our squad on a seasonal basis, of course it's going to go that way more often than not. That's not our battle. It's not a free hit. I hate that term, but that's not our battle. Your Burnleys, your Southamptons. That's where we need to be getting on top of teams. And we've had a really tough run, but at least that gets some of those games out of the way. And then we need to get on a run.
Yeah. I think, Gilly, you make a great point there. I think until we're an established top 10 side, top half side, the games we need to concentrate on are the ones that are surrounding us rather than the ones ahead of us. I think anyway. It's yeah, I agree with you on that one. Like, it's more important to get a point or 3 points. Like, I think we were very unlucky to come away from Newcastle with a point. I thought we should have had 2. Stonewall penalty on Dan James, So
that. Almost enjoyed the City game in a masochistic kind of way. Pep showed us how Bielsa ball can be played with an unlimited budget.
This is very
it's a fair point, but I enjoyed is probably not quite the right term.
He could have sent that message just from Pep showed us how Bielsa ball would be played with unlimited budget. You didn't have to put the first part in, Chris, man.
I know what he says though, because I wouldn't go, oh my God, this is horrendous. Oh my God. I was just sat there like, interesting. We've conceded again. And you kind of like look with teams like Manchester City and Liverpool, you look at how, the Bielsa football and that type of football can evolve with better players. I mean, Bielsa's done an absolutely fantastic job with the current crop of players that he's done. Just imagine what he could do with an absolute cream side in Premier League.
I think that was Bremner's Ghost's point, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's exactly what he means. And if I were going, I don't. With the same a team with the similar sort of standard as Phillips and Rafinha going into a Liverpool game, I'd be absolutely bang up for it. Yeah, we're nervous. They're going to probably punish us. It's going to be a batten down the hatches and let's maybe not damage control, but I hope we're a little bit more reserved than a bit, rather than the gun ho sort of attitude that we've shown in the last few games and stuff. But
you're not relishing Firpo versus Salah?
Oh, he's going to get absolutely torn into bits, isn't he? 100%. It's going to be an absolute fucking shit show down our left wing.
Adam, don't say it. Don't say it.
At least Drama's going to have an easy afternoon against Manu, though.
I would say, Drama versus Manu. Fucking hell.
Yeah. Well, they are a cracking side, and you know, we just need to be a little bit careful. We need to make us passing better. We need. I'm not saying that we don't show a fight, but we really do need to work for each other and show what we can do. Like you guys have, echoed earlier, we need to keep hold of the ball better, like we used to do. I saw a clip on Twitter. I can't remember which team it was against. It might have been
Stoke at home last season or the season.
And it was just fantastic, wasn't it? They were keeping the ball, they were trying to push forward too quickly, too much, and then ding, 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 and then bang, and then every single frigging player is absolutely belting it forward, and we score. We don't see that enough.
Do you know why? I saw that clip as well, Smarty. I don't mean to interrupt you, but my initial thought when I saw that clip was, we didn't have teams pressing us the way teams press us in the Premier League.
No.
In the Championship, we didn't have that. Like we had some teams who would come to us and think, we can go toe to toe, but they'd die after 20 minutes.
Yeah, but football's football.
I know.
Yeah, you can have your individual players that are fantastic and can, tear you a new arsehole and tie you in knots. But football is football. I pass it to him, he passes it to there. Yeah. If we're not doing the basics right, if we're not covering the basics right, then we're going to struggle, especially against players that are a miles better caliber of player and can read the game better as well. If we can't even play a simple 1-2, then we're fucked out of it. But like we've said, amount of players.
And this is what I'm saying.
I also think so. Liverpool. I mean, again, we spoke about the side that the Power and EFL Cup. Liverpool getting beat off Leicester, but you're not going to agree with this. I don't think that 11 versus 11 Liverpool are that good a team. I certainly don't put them in the bracket with City. I really don't. I think they're over-reliant on the wingers, who are class, absolute class. But you put their 11 up against City, and it's not even close. I'm sorry, it's not. They don't have anybody in the middle that can dominate a game like De Bruyne.
If you've got players like Robertson and Alexander-Arnold, they are absolute quality. You will utilise them as much as you possibly can.
Going forward, the quality.
Like we utilise.
You can't defend.
No. That's a fair point. But what I'm saying is, it goes back to that old saying, similar to where we were playing last year. If we can outscore the opposition, we're still winning games. And we're very over reliant on Calvin Phillips. He is our absolute linchpin. Take him away, we're fucked. You take Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold away.
It's a big element of their game.
It's a completely different game, isn't it?
We've lost 9 first teamers with Liverpool. If you took out Van Dijk, Salah, Mane, Robertson, and Trent, actually, that's not half their side. That's about 75% of it.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Because 11 versus 11 against Chelsea and City, they're not as good. They're really not as good. They're still playing Jordan fucking Henderson, for fuck's sake.
Here we go. Come on, Gilly, give us your rant, man. Just give us your rant, man. Just do it. Come on, we haven't had a Henderson rant
giving
in
him
a while.
20p. Someone's put 20p in him.
No, I'm not getting going this time. You all already know.
No, are you on B&C after Liverpool, are you?
I might well be.
Oh, I fucking hope you
Absolutely. It is a question, Gilly. Henderson or Xhaka?
I mean, that's tough, isn't it? They're possibly the 2 worst players I've ever seen play football. I don't know.
Or third option, have a bath with your dad.
Again,
can I keep my trunks on?
Nope. and you've got to wash each other.
You're a sick man. You are a sick man.
I know how strongly you feel about these things.
You're a sick man. I've got to plead the fifth. I'm not going to answer the question. I genuinely, I don't know which is worse: a bath with my dad or having Xhaka or Henderson in my team. I don't know which is worse. They're all things that I'd rather see the world end.
The fact that they're all level playing fields, it worries me. Jesus Christ, what if we got Xhaka on loan or something? Like, what would he do?
No. Just bring on Judgment Day instead.
In the bath with your dad with no kegs on. All right, that's Judgment Day. Yeah. We'll bear that in mind. Bookmark that.
I'd take Henderson.
Would you?
Yeah. Where would you take him? The sea or the bin?
Yeah.
Why
shop.
being like that?
For a long walk off a shop.
Up a mountain and push him off it.
Go on then. Would you?
I'd almost rather bring back Michael Brown now.
Yeah.
No.
That's saying something. Like.
Yeah.
Asshole him.
Henderson or Forshaw?
What?
Forshaw.
It's not even a
It's not
fucking
even a
question. What are
question.
you talking about?
Forshaw's better in every sense.
And this is why we're fucking at the bottom of the league. Because we're not replacing players like Forshaw with good players.
But like we saw how good Forshaw can be when Calvin's in the team. He's able to do what he needs to do just in front of Calvin.
So what are you saying?
Well, what are you talking about then? He's your fellow Ginge, man. Stick up for the guy.
You've literally just said Forshaw or Henderson. Oh, we've all said Forshaw, absolutely. And that's why we're at bottom of the league. That's not you sticking up for Forshaw. That's fucking slander.
I'm not. What I'm saying is, this is why when I'm saying about we need to replace bang average players with
but that's why Liverpool aren't as good as City or Chelsea, because they're still playing shite like Jordan Henderson.
Yeah.
Forshaw had played Premier League football for a full season with Bury before he came to us.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did.
He did.
He didn't play. No, he didn't. He didn't play a full season of Premier League football. No way, he did.
What a fucking bet.
I'm going on Wikipedia right now. He did not play.
I'm checking that right now, man.
I guarantee.
I've got a very good. Yes, Brothers Ghost. Yes.
Come on, Adam.
Find out. Right, go on. Right, predictions. What are we going with then? Give me the scores. And we're not going to cover you, Carl.
Orta no better predictions.
Right, okay. So we are ready to go. So Smarty, I will come to you first then. Liverpool predictions.
I'm going to be as honest as I possibly can without being a fucking idiot.
So
that's not honest now, is it? Come on, we know you.
Realistically, I think we're probably going to get absolutely fucked 4-0.
What? Liverpool?
Wow. Yeah. Oh, you what, mate? Fucking hell.
Right.
I fear,
Adam.
right, as daft as this sounds, I fear Liverpool's attacking threat more than City's. City are better all over the pitch, absolutely, but Liverpool going forward is fucking frightening.
fucking frightening, man.
Well, give us a prediction then, Cal.
All right, 2-1 Leeds.
Again, 2 weeks on bounce. I've got him to give us a prediction. This is
it's Christmas. I'll give you a fucking whatever, like, you know.
Have you got some tinsel on your balls?
No, not yet.
Adam.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 3-1 Liverpool.
We've got a fans prediction as well from the Ghost of Brenda.
Oh, he's getting in here. Oh, look, did you see? Nice one, Ghost of Bremner, lad. I don't give predictions, but look, he's got the same as me.
Huh? I've never seen Carl on this guy. Carl.
Brenda's Ghost is our like number one.
I'm messaging in off before here.
Christ, look, we've got Michael Brown here.
We all dream of the team of Michael Brown's. I told you I wanted to bring him back, and there he is.
I've not heard that anywhere. Has anyone else heard that? I've not heard that anywhere.
I've not read that.
No. It doesn't mean it's not true, but no, I've not seen it.
I've not heard
you can find anything in the fucking in the media world, can't you?
Well, like the 49ers have just bought up to 44%, so I'm kind of hoping that means we have a few quid to spare. Like,
so the other side to that is one of the breakout clauses that were mentioned by, I believe, Phil, was that if Rads took an interest in another club, that the 49ers could break out. And he is. He's looking at it was a Series C side.
Yeah,
Pescara.
Pescara. So I've gone. So it's on record. I've gone 2-2 draw.
It's one of them. You're not sure if we lose. You don't want to
on.
predict if we're going to lose this season. Is that what you're doing?
Never go for
that. Yeah.
I've gone 2-2 draw.
Go on, Gilly. Just give us an honest score. Go on.
Yeah, 2-2 draw.
Bamford
comes back and scores late on, and they get a shit-ass penalty.
It's Christmas.
And it's 2-2.
Bamford ain't that good at dribbling play. He ain't going to be getting any fucking service from wings, is he? Let's be honest.
Well, if Raf's playing, he might.
It's weird. That's pissed me off a little bit. Not pissed me off. That's a bit harsh. This Victor Orta has been quoted recently that we don't have anyone to fucking sell, man. We're at bare bones. What are we going to sell? Some hospital chuffing chairs and some pissing.
Well, it'd be Rafinha, wouldn't it?
Memorabilia, man.
Wheelchairs. Sell them.
Rafinha's fit and the best player Brazil have got.
Yeah. He'd be like memorabilia, wouldn't he? Because we'd only have him as a memory, like so.
Now, here's a question for you, Adam.
Go on.
Neymar or Rafinha?
Oh, Rafinha, 100%.
That's not like you. That's not like you. You know that was a reasonable response.
He didn't even take a breath. He just answered straight away.
Well, because I've not seen anything about Rafinha like banging his sister, so you've got to keep him, haven't you?
Gilly doesn't have a sister, it's just Gilly in a wig.
Oh.
But Neymar doesn't even make a secret of it anymore. It's so obvious.
I know, yeah. Going home from his sister's birthday.
Gotta give her the goodies. So,
shit.
Okay, what a life, eh? But we're blessed, though, aren't we?
Move on then, Adam.
Sorry, mate. So
let's get off. Let's get off incest. Come on.
Let's get off the internet before we get barred, yeah.
YouTube's going to be coming down hard on us.
Yeah, but as hard as I'm not going to finish.
So there we are then. So we've done it. We've done the predictions. What have we got coming up? Have we got anything? That's it now, isn't it? Until Christmas.
That's it.
Till after Liverpool on Boxing Day, yeah.
Who's
on
B and C for that? Should we have a look?
Let's be honest, we never really know till the last minute, do we, lads?
B and C on Boxing Day.
Have you?
I hope not.
I reckon it's
me and Adam.
Probably. I reckon it's Jay and Smart.
Fucking sweet. Oh no, wait on.
No, can't read it right.
It's Gilly and Luke.
Oh, sound.
So that might be Monday.
Yeah, fair one. Yeah. Just before we go, Adam.
Yes,
Adam Forshaw played 34 out of 38 games in the Premier League for Middlesbrough. So each
bollocks.
I think that could be classed as a full season.
I mean, I thought you were going to try and beat me on a technicality. Well, it's not full season. It's not 38 games. It's still the
34 games is still
34 games is a full season.
Like,
yeah. Anything more than 25, you've had a heavy hand in the season, haven't you?
Any more than if you make 10 appearances, you get a championship medal if you win. Like so,
17, 18.
Yeah,
I think
it was 17.
So why was
16, 17.
16, 17. Go on, Adam. What?
No.
He's backed away from that as well.
It's like, yeah, sorry, you're right. Fuck off.
Sorry, but you're gonna be eating them spicy crisps. I wouldn't worry about it.
Here, look, still 2 games.
Oh, they're not to worry about. Honestly, it with a piece of paste, no issues at all. Dead easy.
Yeah,
Gilly pissed it, man. In fact, he would after more. He wanted more. He was licking rapper afterwards.
I was watching Gilly's eyeballs sweat. I was like, what the fuck is happening? He looks like he's going to take off.
I've been possessed by the devil.
So there we go then. Right. So do we have any nice shout outs for anybody? Anybody you want to wish a Merry Christmas to from our?
Fuck that! I want a beer.
Yeah, everyone knows.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Fuck off.
See you on Boxing Day.
Look at Smarty's.